After the age of 35, a subtle change begins. The softer jawline, the slight sag around the cheeks, your body composition starts to shift. Muscle tissue, dense, supportive, and metabolically active, slowly declines. This process, known as sarcopenia, doesn't arrive dramatically.
This video is made for educational and informational purposes only.
Look closely at your reflection for a moment. The softer jawline, the slight sag around the cheeks, the quiet droop in areas that once felt firm and lifted. Most people are told this is simply aging, natural, unavoidable, and irreversible. But what if that explanation is incomplete? What if what you're seeing on the surface is actually a visible clue to a deeper biological shift happening silently inside your body? After the age of 35, a subtle change begins. Even if the number on the weighing scale barely moves, your body composition starts to shift. Muscle tissue, dense, supportive, and metabolically active, slowly declines, while fat and connective tissue take its place. This process, known as sarcopenia, doesn't arrive dramatically. It reveals itself quietly through reduced firmness, weaker posture, less definition. According to data from the National Institutes of Health, adults lose roughly 3 to 8%. Estimates vary by study, of their muscle mass per decade after the age of 30, and the rate increases with time. The unsettling part is that many people don't notice it because overall body weight often stays the same. Muscle is being replaced, not obviously lost. What begins as a cosmetic concern slowly turns into a metabolic and functional one. Hormonal shifts quietly set the stage. Testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone, key regulators of muscle maintenance, begin to decline in both men and women. Add to this a modern lifestyle dominated by prolonged sitting, minimal strength-based movement, chronic stress, and poor sleep, and muscle simply doesn't receive the signals it needs to stay strong. Nutrition matters too. Without enough high-quality protein and supportive nutrients, muscle repair slows, and regeneration weakens. Researchers now emphasize that sarcopenia is not just about aging, it's largely driven by lifestyle. The years between 35 and 45 form a critical window. This is the decade where muscle acts like a long-term investment. What you build and preserve now influences how well your body functions decades later. Research shows that muscle mass maintained in midlife may support metabolic rate, blood sugar control, bone strength, and mobility in older age, and the decline later becomes sharper, raising the risk of fatigue, insulin resistance, falls, and loss of independence. Here's where the narrative changes. Muscle loss is not inevitable. The human body remains adaptable well into midlife and beyond. Resistance training sends a powerful biological message to muscle fibers: stay active, stay strong. Studies consistently show that strength training just 2 to 3 times per week can slow and, in some cases, partially reverse muscle decline. These don't need to be extreme workouts. Bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or light dumbbells are enough to reactivate dormant muscle tissue. Nutrition amplifies this effect. Aging muscles require a stronger protein signal to trigger repair and growth. Around 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal has been shown to effectively stimulate muscle protein synthesis. Plant-forward sources such as lentils, chickpeas, tofu, tempeh, quinoa, and pea or soy protein powders provide this protein along with added benefits that support long-term health. This is where visual awakening begins. A plant-forward approach doesn't just nourish muscle, it protects it. Plant foods are rich in antioxidants that reduce chronic inflammation and oxidative stress, two major drivers of muscle breakdown. Vitamins like C and E, polyphenols from berries and green tea, and compounds in turmeric and leafy greens create an internal environment where muscles recover more efficiently. Omega-3 fats from flaxseed or algae improve muscle quality, while vitamin D from fortified foods, mushrooms, and sunlight supports strength and coordination. Leucine, a key amino acid that acts as a trigger for muscle growth, is readily available in plant foods such as soybeans, tofu, tempeh, lentils, peanuts, and fortified protein powders. Research suggests that reaching roughly 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal becomes increasingly important after 35. New discoveries also highlight myokines, hormones released by contracting muscles, which influence brain health, immunity, and longevity. Muscles are no longer seen as just tissue for movement. They are active regulators of whole body health. Sleep and stress quietly decide whether all this effort pays off. Poor sleep raises cortisol and suppresses recovery hormones, accelerating muscle loss. 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep combined with stress-reducing habits like meditation, breathing exercises, or gentle yoga create the hormonal environment muscles need to rebuild. Daily movement matters as well. Standing more, stretching, walking, and brief functional movements help preserve coordination and prevent stiffness, even during busy workdays. Now the connection becomes clear. Muscle loss shows up on the face as flatter cheeks and a softer jawline. It appears in the body as breast and gluteal sagging due to reduced muscular support. It alters posture, pulling the shoulders forward and weakening the core. Many people chase creams and cosmetic fixes, unaware that the structural support underneath is slowly fading. When muscle tone improves, firmness, posture, and definition often return naturally. This understanding shifts fear into control. Men over 35 can help counter gradual testosterone decline with consistent resistance training, adequate protein, and vitamin D. Women navigating estrogen changes, perimenopause, or postpartum recovery can rebuild muscle safely through strength training, weight-bearing yoga, and leucine-rich plant foods. Office workers can reclaim strength through stairs, standing desks, walking meetings, and brief functional movements. Even older adults benefit from resistance bands, balance exercises, and proteins spread evenly across meals. Recent research delivers one final empowering message: it doesn't take much. Studies from the last few years show that even 10-minute resistance routines done a few times a week may help preserve muscle in adults over 35. Consistency matters more than intensity. The mirror no longer tells a story of inevitable decline. It becomes feedback, a signal. Muscle loss isn't just about looking older, it's about how well your body supports you in the years ahead. The science is clear, and the control is still yours.
This video is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Always seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider regarding any medical condition or treatment.